Okay, so this is our second video in the trigonometry revision series, I suppose you could call it. And this one, of course, is looking at the other way in which you can find a side. So I better actually put a letter in this question. That might make it a little bit easier for us to do it. So I'm still going to work back through this mind map that I've made for myself, because this is, I suppose, the way that I think about every trigonometry problem. So first off, we've got to work out our correct side. So I said last video, we draw through the right angle, and that will give us our hypotenuse. Through our angle will give us our opposite side, and of course this must be our adjacent, the only side that we have left. I mark the angle, so I'll put a little angle sign next to it, and then I circle the value for my hypotenuse, and in this case my adjacent side. Now I cross out the O because I know that I don't actually need that. It's not going to be one of the things I'm going to use in this particular problem. So that means that I'm not going to be able to use sine, because of course that has the opposite in it, and I'm also not going to be using tan because that one also has the opposite value in it. So this question has to be a cos question. So I've picked my ratio. Now, of course, I've just got to go to the part where I fill in the actual little formula that I've got. So cos of my angle is equal to adjacent over hypotenuse. So cos of, well, the angle was 60 degrees in the question. A is 14, and of course H is in this case X, and that's why I've written up here finding sides when the letter is on the bottom. So what I mean by the bottom of this little fraction over here. So here it is here. Now this just requires an extra step, and this one is probably one of the more confusing ones that we actually do. So to get that x off the bottom of that fraction, I'm actually going to times by x, because if I times 14 by x and then I divide by x, I still get 14. And so basically in maths, I suppose we say that we cancel them out. And so I have to times by x on this side, because what I do on one side of my equal side, I have to do on the other side of my equal side. Now, that whole step is to basically get this x off the bottom of this fraction, okay? And so if we have a look at this, many kids go, well, last question we did, Mr. Robinson, you actually worked out what x was. But now you've actually moved it over here and we're a bit confused about what we do with this. Well, to get that x off the bottom of the fraction is really important in this question. And then here, how are we actually going to get x by itself? Well, if I times by cos 60, and then if I divide by cos 60, I actually do nothing to x. So I divide by what I times by, and now I've managed to get x by itself. But of course you may have seen that if I've divided by cos 60 on this side, then I have to divide by cos 60 on the other side. So to work out what x is, I just take 14 and I divide it by cos 60. So let's grab a calculator. We'll put it here. So we're going to go, first off, check that it's in degrees. 14 divided by cos of 60 degrees. And that's going to give me the answer of 28. So I now know that the hypotenuse of this triangle is 28. Now, is this a reasonable number? Well, if we think about it, remembering that the hypotenuse always has to be the biggest side of this triangle, and since this was 14, then it's very reasonable that our answer of 28 would be right. If I got an answer of 12, for instance, then that probably means that I've done something wrong, because this side would actually be bigger than my hypotenuse, and that's not actually possible. Okay, so that's finding angles when the letter is on the bottom. You've got your trigonometry booklet that is on Canvas, and if you watch the video that was posted this morning on Messenger and on this channel, you would have seen that Miss Moore asked you to revise for your trig test and post a photo of that on Canvas for us. So if you can get that done, here are a couple of videos to help you if you're a little bit lost. Okay, I'll see you in the next video. Goodbye.